stacked foam. Stacked foam.
Find out what we mean right after the whistling. We're here. We're live on Facebook today. We're going to be showing you some techniques for Eclipse cards, which are the kind of the hottest new card. Would you say that?
I would say
they're kind of definitely trending.
Pretty trending.
Yeah.
They're very cool. I know that much.
They are. They're really cool, and they're really easy to make, and they are really fun too. So I just wanted to show you some that I have made, and I'm going to kind of explain my learning curve as I've been kind of practicing with this new thing.
Sarah's been working diligently behind the scenes.
So this one was my first, and I learned that a busy pattern makes it so you can't really see the item that's been popped up very much. So and basically that's what an Eclipse card is. It has a continuous finish and then there's a die cut element that's raised up, and it gives you kind of this.
Can you guys see that?
This
that's
edge.
So cool.
So I was using a really simple shape, this dress that I have a die for. But yeah, it doesn't show up. Yeah, there's my die. Thank you, Rachel. It doesn't show up super great. But that's okay. That was just that. Next, I started working with, so I worked with a lighter stamp here and raised up the word love. And these are, you can see there's two basic techniques. You cut a bunch out in paper and you stack them kind of technique. And there's you pop them up using kind of foam tape or kind of dimensional adhesive kind of tape. Kind of thing. Kind of thing. So this is using that, because the letters here are so small that I couldn't really, I tried to do the paper stacking thing and it didn't work because it was just so small. The paper was curling and buckling and not cooperating. Trying to get
it out of the die.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't.
It just wouldn't,
So
Sarah.
I go with the paper. The paper led me and said, do not do this to me. I said, okay, paper, I won't.
Paper.
So here's another one. Again, you can't see the words as clearly because the stamp is very bold and busy, but it says thanks.
Really pretty still.
It does, and there is something that's really cool about maybe you don't really notice at first, and then you go, oh my gosh, look, that's kind of cool. So
it's got an eclipse.
Yeah. So and then here's I did this one. This is a simple word. Love. I did the stacking technique on this one.
That one is
It also
my
makes
favorite.
the card kind of hefty.
Is it a hefty?
And I had these this kind of looked like Summer of Love to me, so I found these kind of flowery stamp things
60s.
that I thought complemented that. So that's kind of why I did that. And then I got to thinking, well, that would be really cool, kind of tone on tone. So I did black paper.
I love that one.
And then just white for the top and the background and I thought, wow, you could do that with holiday colors, like for Valentine's Day this could be red in here. Halloween could be orange and black colors with some, I don't know if you want love on Halloween.
Maybe not love, maybe like boo or something.
Yeah, like that, so but
love on Halloween.
Well, I do love you on Halloween.
I love you too on Halloween, Sarah.
But yeah, so this could be great with Christmas colors, Hanukkah colors, 4th of July colors. Anything could work. And I think it could be really bright and fun, or just for someone's birthday, like with yellow in there or something.
Ooh, like their favorite color. Like,
yeah.
I would make a purple one for you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. So anyway, so that's it. And I was thinking that later on, as I was looking at this, I thought, well, maybe I might go back with a black pen and like doodle a frame or do some of my little lettering, like
just
fun
some
little
simple
doodles.
black and white.
Black and white,
It's
yeah.
very classic.
Yeah.
It's just
and
really classy.
it's a hefty card. It's like you feel like you're holding something. It's like there's some weight to it. Like watch.
Hefty.
So you hear that? Yeah. So it's big. That's a big card.
It's a big card.
So those are the cards we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be making, and then I'm going to start with the dress card because I felt like I got it wrong and I wanted to redo it right away. So I'm going to be making this card. I'm going to do a better job this time though. I'm not going to stamp all this crazy effect all over there.
But the initial paper, the background paper,
yeah.
Where did that come from? We want to remind them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So these papers I made from. We have a pre-recorded video showing you how I made these with Tim Holtz's oxide inks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dry technique with the oxide inks, and then if you they they work really well with the wet technique, and so then you get this kind of great tie-dye.
Kind of mottled.
Or there's all kinds of different effects depending on the different techniques you use, and I think I demonstrate 4 different techniques of the 1 gazillion techniques that you can do.
You guys should go check that out.
This one, I did a dry technique where I put the ink right onto a block, and then just kind of without using water to activate it yet.
Block.
I put it all over there and then activated it once it was already on the paper, and it gives you kind of a marbly. It's a little bit of a rougher texture looking thing. I mean, the texture's chalky, but the visual is like you get like these little pitted things when you work dry first. So, but I didn't like the way that one turned out. So I had another piece here. So I'm gonna do something slightly different. This is a piece of paper that I'm gonna be using today to make
Look at
this
how pretty
dress.
that is. Now, was that a wet or a dry technique?
This is a wet technique, and actually a very wet technique, very spattery. I think I just dragged the pads across the paper and then spritzed and kept working it and moving the paper around. The thing with my little dress is I want to make sure I put it up a little bit high because it has these little feet that are gonna stamp onto there. So that looks like just about right. So I'm just going to die cut this.
Okay, let's bring in the big shot.
Yep. Da-da-da-da. And my old ratty, I think it's a well-loved,
they're well-loved
die cut machine. I use the Big Shot, but you could also, I want to make sure this is straight. Hold on a second. You can also probably use just about any die cutter that you have. Right.
We love our Big Shot.
And I'm using my magnetic platform, which I also really love. I pretty much use, that's my go-to now. I don't
magnetic platform.
Yeah.
Because if your magnets hold it in place, which is very helpful.
And I like the fact that this is a manual one because there's less parts to worry about and less likelihood that anything's going to go wrong electronically in the middle of the night when I'm trying to make a bunch of cards and then I can't do anything about it.
And then we cry.
Here, I'm going to just pop this dress right out of here, and then you see I've got these pieces.
You want to keep everything too, right?
You do. That's important, especially when you're doing lettering, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
But what I end up with, I did about 10 runs of the dress just with white paper, and I ended up with this little stack of little dresses.
So you just kept doing it with white paper over and over.
Yeah, and it took no time at all. You'd think like, oh my gosh, how many hours was she at the Big Shot waiting to get enough of these dresses? But to make the 10 or 12 that I needed, I timed myself, and it was about 5 minutes.
Okay. That's not bad.
Just like doing it, because you don't have to line anything up. It's just white paper.
Yeah, it's just the white paper.
Put it through, put it through, put it through.
The only thing you have to worry about lining up is your paper, your patterned paper.
And that's not even hard, because watch what happens. Like I have these papers, and I put a little Tombow on the first one. Then I bring the second one over here, and I have a little time to work, right? Because it's Tombow. So then I just come around the edges and kind of make sure they're all lined up. Then I put a little glue on that one, and I do that. And then one thing I did do once I got it all stacked up and glued together was to dry it. I put a weight on it. Like a book or a box.
On it?
Yeah. Just to kind of let it dry really flat and strong, because I didn't want, because it was so wet with all that glue. It was like one of those, what are those pastries with the Napoleons?
I don't know what you're talking. The layered one thing.
Yeah,
I think it was Napoleon's.
It's like pastry and then custard in between, and there's a million layers.
Yeah.
That's what
Good
this was.
stuff.
This is like that, except with paper and glue. And so I thought I didn't want it to buckle because it was super wet. So I just dried it overnight with the thing on it till it was good and dry. And so then I ended up with this, which is like this nice hard dress, right? And so I'm ready really to make my card. I'm gonna just start with a card base.
Ribbons.
And make sure it opens the right way. When I'm doing cards this way, I always have to go, okay, I'm opening it this way. Because how many of you have made cards this way? I have. Show of hands. Yeah, everyone does it. So, and this card is oriented this way.
Do you want to stamp first, or do you go ahead and adhere first? Because this isn't going
No, this is, I'm not stamping on this, actually. I'm not doing a stamp on this.
The little feet.
Oh, you're right. Yes, I do it kind of afterwards. Because it doesn't matter, because it covers right up. So... and then what you'll see when Rachel does her cards, you'll see this better. But one of the challenges, not really a challenge, but just one of the issues you want to keep in mind is that you want this to lay flat, but you have all these curvy little detail lines. And so what I've done is just gone through and on all these little places that are going to kind of flap and maybe I don't want them kind of popping up. I'm just going to do like a little outline
just a line
of the tombow, just like whoop.
The mono, and just get it so that it's going to all stick really good.
And then here I go. And I'm sticking this down. I'm trying not to get my head in the shot. And
Your head
there,
would be beautiful in the shot.
I know, and now I paid for that because it's not really centered. But that's okay, because normally I would just put my head right over it, and it would be pop right into place. Then I want to put the cover onto my dress. So see what's going to happen now is this is going to go right there. It's going to be real pretty.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tombow. It's a little bit much on that shoulder. I don't want it, one thing, I don't want it to like goosh out.
Oh, okay.
It does do that sometimes. I mean, you can just swipe it with your finger, but I like to try to keep my fingers as sticky free as possible so that I don't get it everywhere. And then again, like I just
lines
gathered
up perfectly,
it does. It lines up perfectly. I go back and I make sure the shoulders and nothing's. And there is my dress, all ready to go.
I want a dress like that. Where can
I
I get
do
this
too.
fabric?
I decided I wanted to put a little waist on her, a little sash to dress up the dress a little bit. So I'm just going to cut a piece of ribbon this way.
I'll just find some ribbon in your stash.
Yeah, we just found this. It's no big deal. And I have a little piece of tape I already, because I didn't want to knot it in the back because I want it to lay
Needs to be
flat. Silly. Come here.
A little ribbon wants to be fidgety.
It does.
Fidgety. But that's okay.
It is okay.
You're going to go where I want you to go.
That's right. And then I have these little glue dots for putting down the little ribbon sash.
Made a tiny little bow.
I did.
I would even maybe fold that in half.
That's what I'm kind of doing. So I do it on the piece so that I make it kind of small because the ribbon is not very wide and I don't want it to, so I'm making like a little adhesive burrito there. I'm going to put it right there.
Why do we keep talking about food today?
I don't know, but I'm so hungry now.
Maybe that's why. We're talking about Napoleons and burritos. And
So there we go. So there's my little thing, and then I can
cute.
like make cut that off a little bit. And I'm ready to kind of glue this in place. And won't that be sweet? It's just going to be like a little...
Look at the dimension that you get.
Yeah,
That's
it's really cute.
Really cool. And so you're just using the mono again to...
I am. It's
stick
just
it down.
because it's easier with the curves.
Yeah.
So let's just go
And
in there.
it also, like, once it dries and everything gets adhered, it's stuck.
And then it just goes right into place and it fits perfectly. And there is
That would be
this-
cute for a little girl's birthday.
And then I could stamp a sentiment there, or I could put one on the inside.
Show the side again. That's
So
really
that's-
cool.
That's just how it looks. So no biggie, right?
No biggie.
No biggie,
It's
but
just
really
pretty.
effective. It's really pretty.
I think it's
So
gorgeous.
that's the first card I'm showing you today.
Okay.
Okay. Then the next one I'm going to show you is this one. It has
So this was the first one was a very simple shape.
yeah, this was a really simple shape. I mean, you could do a heart, you could do
Star.
Yeah.
Anything.
really simple.
A mustache.
We do. We have a mustache die, and I almost did it. I wanted a sentiment that would go with it, and I couldn't find.
I couldn't find a sentiment.
I do have a mustache sentiment stamp set because it was a set, but I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to it.
I don't know where it is.
So this is this is a little trickier. It's
more intricate.
It's more intricate, and you see it has these holes here and here. This is what we were talking about earlier. These little pieces that are going to pop out of the center of the O and the loop of the E, and oh, thank you. Oh, Truman's reminding us that we want to let you know
Yes.
who we are and what we're doing.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we are Finders Keepers.
And I'm Rachel.
And I'm Sarah. And we're here today showing you how to make Eclipse cards.
Thank you, cameraman.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder, T. And so anyway, these little pieces that come out of there, you have to keep track of them. I know
Yes.
it's hard on your crafting table. My crafting table doesn't always look like this. And I tell you what,
Table almost never looks like
no,
this.
and I actually lost the little E piece, but here's what I did. I had a piece that I had trimmed off right here. I took this little green and I cut
You
a
just
rectangle
stuck it in there.
and I stuck it under there, and you bet you
Can't
didn't
even
even
tell.
notice.
If you hadn't said anything, they would have never known.
You never would have noticed. So this is the card we're going to make next, and it starts with this. Oops.
We've kind of got all of our little pieces.
All of our little
Because
pieces.
we didn't want to lose anything.
And so there's my love. Now I did it, I stamped this flower and I made it so that the center was kind of right at that O, which I thought was cool at the
Kinda
time.
cool.
You know.
At the time, no, it's still cool, Sarah.
Yeah. So
It's
I have,
just- it's
and I
cool.
have my 3 loops. I've got the middle of my flower, the middle of my L, and the middle of my E, right? So I'm going to take my card base, and again, I'm going to go around the edges with my really fast adhesive, and this is Tombow Extreme, and we buy it
By the truckload.
By the truckload. It just is like kind of this go-to extreme adhesive. Actually, we're coming out with our own adhesive, and we'll be using that once it arrives.
Yes.
But also very good.
Shortly.
Yeah. And then I'm going to come back in here with my Tombow. Come on, little boy. And then just kind of
Get all
outline
those little curvy things.
all
going
the
on.
little valleys, because we don't want those popping up. That's one thing about Eclipse cards.
Got to make sure everything is stuck down,
Good.
nice and secure.
All right, so there is that. Come here, you.
It's so sticky.
It is. But it's good that it's sticky, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Yep.
And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to place this down thusly.
Thusly.
Okay. And there it goes. And so now I have,
Even that's really pretty.
yeah. And you could just leave it like that.
Some adhesive in there.
No, it looks like it just wasn't pressed down yet. So there's, okay. So what I did, so again, like I cut, like I ran the love through the Big Shot, I think about a dozen times to make all these. And then I just took I took the Tombow like it was a pen and I wrote love and then like stuck the next one on. And then I just went over it, you know, from right to left, kind of making sure that everything was lined up, and I kept stacking. This one did take longer than the dress because it's a much more complicated shape.
Yeah.
I would say cutting out and gluing all these together was more like a 15-20 minute job.
Yeah. Okay.
But still completely doable for making a card.
Yeah, and what are you going to use this card for later on today, maybe?
Oh, you see, it's my anniversary today, so I just might do that. So this is our technique now for, it's not our technique, we didn't invent it. What's this little black dot doing here? Hold on. When you're working against white paper, there we go. Things happen. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in here to help guide me in placing those little loops back in
The little
where they
loopies?
go. Yeah. I'm just going to use Tombow to stick them down, and I'm just going to do a little line right down the center because I don't want it to get
Yeah, you don't want it to get on the
goopy.
goopiness.
Come here, you. And then I'm going to just put this right where it goes.
And that just makes it easy for lining it
Right.
up. I mean, it's done.
It's just done. And then again, like tiny one here.
And then when you have something stamped, you want to make sure that you're putting it back in the right direction.
Right. And I'm looking at these while I'm picking them up or trying to pick them up. This one doesn't want it. There we go. This one has a tiny piece of the center, and I can see that it goes in this way. So I'm going to kind of line those up.
Perfect.
And then
Last but certainly
this
not
one is
least.
trickier because it's just bits of orange, but I can see one end is pointier.
Yeah.
And that's that kind of place right there at the bottom of the loop. So I'm going to
Schmidge.
put that in there. Okay. Then I can lift this back up now, and I can rest assured that all of those pieces are in place.
Nice and centered where they're supposed
Right
to be.
right where they need to be. So that part is done. Now I have my thing that I glued together. I glued this together earlier this morning, and I did weight it again, like to make sure that it laid flat. This is a longer, thinner thing. I didn't want it to curve up or buckle because it was moist. So moist. So here I am. I'm coming in here now. I'm going to put my Tombow.
La la la.
I got really close to the edge right there, so that's going to be a little bit of a cleanup, but that's okay. I'll show you that too.
Learn from any and all
And this piece
Creative.
just goes right on top.
I just think that's so cool.
I like how solid it feels.
I
And
would like that just on a white card too.
yeah, that could
Look
be
at that.
just by itself.
So there's two separate elements. You can make two cards, but I like it better with the Eclipse. And then you're just kind of making sure everything's
Yeah, I'm
pushed
making
down.
sure, and then I'm having an issue here with some glue seeping out, so I'm going to come in here and just kind of
You need tissue?
shave that off. Nope.
Good. Post-it notes
Yeah, I use them for everything.
for everything.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I even used them for. I was using this stamping. What does Tim Holtz call his stamping thing? It's not the Misty, but
I don't know.
stamping platform.
Stamping platform. There you go.
That's what it's called. And I was using that, and the stamps. It was when I was doing this card, and the stamp went past the edge. So to use the magnets,
Oh, yes.
I put Post-it notes on upside down
Oh,
on it, and then
that's clever.
use them to hold it. And I don't know why I'm sharing that, but yeah, that's
Well,
what I did.
hey, tips and tricks. We
Yeah.
love to share.
Yeah. So
We
then
love
I'm
to
coming
share
in
with
again
all of
here,
our customers.
and I'm just gonna go right in here, and I'm writing love.
Love. You can practice your lettering at the same time, right?
Yes, except I hold a pen a little differently than a glue bottle, but still, yes, I do like lettering.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, and
Just fit that right in there, huh?
I am just, and that's kind of the easiest part because it's so well marked. What is that little thing? I'm having these little. Oh, you know what it is? It's the little pieces of black paper from when I made them in black.
Oh, yes.
I have those. Those are going to be haunting my house forever. So now I have this really cute card, and it's kind of sweet, and that's my love card. And then what I did for the black and the white one was exactly the same, only I cut out all the loves from the black paper and stacked them up and just did it white on white
I
with
think
the
that's
black core.
really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a very elegant card, and I think anyone would be really happy to get that. And I'm sure
Yes.
you know people that are worth that kind of effort.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Totally.
I want at least to
Totally.
lay flat. Behave. So that is my little tutorial for this. And when Rachel's going to step in and she's going to do the other two cards.
Are we going to switch spaces?
Yeah, so we're going to switch places here. I'm just trying to clean up my space because I make messes. Rachel's a much tidier crafter than me. I can't help it. And I just think that we just embrace all kinds.
Oh.
Messy. Yeah.
What is it that it's a crafty something is? What's
my
the
dad?
saying?
Yeah, my dad used to say. Well, my mother would get on me about like cleaning my room. My dad would say that creative mess is better than tidy idleness.
Yes, yes, and we fully support that here at Finders
I'm worried
Keepers.
because I don't see the center for your O.
It's right there.
Okay.
Calm down, Sarah.
I got a little worried.
Sarah, we thought we were missing
Little
something,
tiny
but we're good.
pieces have been haunting me all night long. Oh, I never stamped the base.
She had. Oh, you want me to do it real quick?
You can't.
Oh. Okay,
well,
it's fine. You're going to put a sentiment down there. We forgot to stamp the base on the
Yeah, I didn't. There's a little
little
dress thing
feet.
that goes right there, but I forgot to do it.
But we're going to
okay,
put a
'cause it's still
sentiment
beautiful.
instead.
Yeah, it's cute.
That's why, because you decided to do something different. Okay, so I am going to show you guys. It's also an Eclipse card, but it's a little bit different technique. This one is. Can you guys see the? I'm using like dimensionals or foam tape on mine. So here's the thanks card that we did, and I have gone ahead and. This one is just really fast. So can you guys see all the little pieces? I just took some.
So you've already attached this?
I've already attached this to the white card and put in my little A, the little center of my A.
Just the way I did with the love.
Just exactly the way Sarah did with her love. I'm going to do my love the same and show you with Sarah. But we just took some of our little square.
These are also Tombow.
These are also Tombow. And I cut them in half. I don't know if you guys, can you see that? I actually just took my scissors and just cut them right in half in order to get these teeny tiny, can you guys see all the little, tiny little craziness? Now I'm going to ask Sarah to help me pull all these little
of course.
papers off.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna start putting them together. Again, you want to make sure that you're using a lot of dimension. I mean, a lot of the foam tape, because you don't want stuff to get saggy.
Right, to collapse, like especially if it's going into an envelope.
Yes, nobody wants saggy anything,
And the
especially
ends
women.
especially will do that.
Especially us women, we don't want to be saggy in any way. And so all you do is you just have to...
Anyway, it just can't be helped. I'm good.
What, the saggy?
Yep. I earned it, man. I earned it.
I've earned my sags, right?
That's right. These were working breasts.
And they did their job well.
Yeah.
You've got two.
And now they still do occasional consulting work. I want you to know that.
Consulting work.
Yeah.
Her breasts do consulting work. Okay, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, they're not done. I'm just saying.
This is how we are here at Finders Keepers. We're a little crazy and loopy
there's your tea,
sometimes.
honey.
Thank you very much. It often helps to have a helping hand when you're doing this. Another thing you can do is...
Or you can just binge watch, Warehouse 13.
Like Sarah was doing this morning when I got in.
No, all night.
All night, rather.
As I prepped this.
And that's, hey, Warehouse 13 rocks.
It is.
It's an awesome show. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But you can see how quickly, you just kind of stick everything down and it's so cute. Who? I don't know. Truman's giving us another message.
Oh,
Mom.
he doesn't understand the consulting work. It's okay, honey.
It's okay, Truman. You don't need to understand it. It's all right. Also, again, here, this letter has some partial stamping. So it could go in this way with this letter. So be sure that you're putting stuff in the proper direction. And I like this one. It's just got the one leaf on it, but I like them both. I think they're both gorgeous. Yeah. And I love this background paper. It's just so yummy.
I stamped this, and I thought that maybe the detail going all the way across made the letters a little bit harder to see. So I tried it with this one, and it's just it's personal preference. Like, yeah, anyone would be lucky to get either one of these cards.
And I believe if you look around too, you can find this foam tape in colors. I don't exactly know where offhand, but I know that that's possible. And so you could do, you could get kind of the same effect as Sarah did with her multiple pieces of colored paper, that if you've got black, I think this one would be kind of cool with a black foam tape. And there's also, you can find foam tape in strips. So like you could, do strips of things. So maybe that's a little bit faster. I don't know. So here's our next one. So that's the thanks, and then here's the love, as you can see, with the foam tape. So I'm gonna pull this in. I've already got some of my letters going here. I haven't put any adhesive on my O because I have to do the little center, and I'm gonna do my center just like Sarah did hers. So I'm gonna start by using the extreme. Go ahead and get this all secured and taped down really well. With a word like this, I'm just kind of going around it all together, and then I'm gonna, just like Sarah, go back in with the mono and get all these little pieces like on the E and in this little area of the L and the V, because the V's always, those V's and W's and like M's and N's depending on your alphabet and how it is. And in between my letters here, and just make sure everything's going to stick down really secure and nice. And Sarah has helped me out immensely here. She pulled off all my little crazy dimensional things, just trying to line this little guy up. Oh, I love this purple and blue too, Sarah. This is like my favorite one.
You.
We're kind of saving the best for last, sort of, just because of the colors.
We decided, we had to make that decision. We'll work towards the purple, we said.
Again, this O could go in either way.
And it's hard to see because it's a detailed stamp.
On this one, so make sure that you take the time. You don't want to rush this. You want to take the time to make sure that you're getting it in just the right way that you want it. And same with the little interior part of this O. Let's see, this is the bird, I think, and that's the flower. Okay, so we've got our O in there kind of holding our space, and then we can just kind of drop that in, twist it a little bit. It's the beauty of the mono, and then I can just lift that O right out of there. See how that works?
Hand it over to me and I'll put some stuff on it.
Thank you, Sarah. Got some little smudgies from the die cut. And then now just shoving everything down. And then here we can just go ahead with our adhering in our letters. I just think this is a beautiful, beautiful card. I'd love to like send this one to my mom or something. Like I think my mom would really appreciate this card. And look at all the little pieces on the E. I really wanted to make sure it stuck.
Yeah.
But again, you don't want the saggy. Like Sarah said, especially if it's going into like an envelope and it's going to actually be mailed. You want to make sure that it all gets in there really good. And Sarah's working diligently over here.
The O's on its way, Rach. We got some of our best people working on it.
We've got our little elves working on it because you know why? There's only like 47 more days till Christmas.
Yeah, it was funny because I had a meeting with my kids yesterday. We were talking about...
Are the Christmas bins coming?
No, that's not what we're talking about. We were talking about, we had to make lists, like who we're making gifts for this year and what we're going to do. And so we started getting that organized, and my daughter's all, I don't know why she goes, Christmas is like 3 months away.
And you're like
to the calendar.
Yes. It's November.
To differ.
It's like almost the middle of November already. Yeah. So let's see. Is that right? Yes, it is. Got to make sure we get our little bird's throat and neck going in the right direction. Oh, and this is just so lovely. I just love it. And I'm going to squish everything down a little bit. Something just fell on the floor. But so you guys can see how beautiful that.
And we have a little party. Yay!
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again. Do it again.
You start by taking a victory lap.
Okay,
and then I'll be at the finish line.
I'm gonna take a victory lap, and I'm gonna start right here in the middle. Victory lap!
Yay!
Your
card is done. Woo! Those are just all the little pieces.
Those are all the little dimensional pieces.
Okay.
We here at Finders Keepers
love
confetti and glitter and sequins, as you can tell.
All right.
So here, let's pull all these beautiful cards back in and take a little look here, a little look-see. Oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. And the love. Put that one right there. And I hope that you guys, if you have any questions when you watch this, if you're watching it live or when you come back to visit us again on Facebook, we hope that you leave our questions below for us, and then we will get back to you. And we've had a lot of fun. Sarah had a lot of fun, even though she was up very late.
No, we're good.
And we love these cards. We love you guys. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them for us. And we will see you guys all next time. Toodles!